It can't be positive.
A vaccine mandate for cross-border truckers is now in effect for Canada, but for an industry that is already facing staffing shortages, there's a worry more drivers will now leave, affecting an already crippled supply chain. The new federal mandate requires Canadian truckers to quarantine if they are unvaccinated coming back into the country. Barry Prentice, professor of supply chain management at the University of Manitoba, says this will have a major impact on a supply chain that has already been hit hard. But the main question that comes to Prentice's mind over this, why?
These same drivers are the heroes that were risking their lives with an unknown disease and no vaccine and nothing to bring food to us. And then all of a sudden now they're at risk.
According to the Canadian Trucking Alliance, around 70% of the roughly $650 billion in trade between Canada and the U.S. moves by truck. There are also 120,000 Canadians who operate cross-border and around 40,000 licensed U.S. drivers that travel the north-south trade route. Prentice says this mandate showcases the government's lack of awareness on trade.
Where's our lettuce and tomatoes going to come from?
Our concern is the strict compliance with it. And to be honest, our concern is also the timelines that they gave people to comply with it.
Mike Millian, president of Private Motor Truck Council of Canada, says the trucking industry was already dealing with a shortage of 23,000 drivers before the mandate. Now the mandate is in place and says the shortage will worsen.
Our surveys have indicated that roughly 20% of Canadian drivers are unvaccinated. And roughly 50% of the 40,000 U.S. cross-border drivers are unvaccinated. So we're looking at removing at least a fifth of the workforce.
Salil Prabhakar from Razir Transport Services in Oak Bluff, Manitoba, says it's great that the vaccine mandate is in place.
Everybody had enough chance to get vaccinated, and they should, by now, should be vaccinated. All our drivers are vaccinated. We have provided all the resources that they needed to get vaccinated. So I don't think so there is any fuzz about getting vaccinated, and it's a good initiative for everybody.
But Professor Barry Prentice says exceptions need to be made, and this, he believes, should be one of them.
We depend on them. We certainly owe them more respect than they're being given.
The U.S. plans to implement similar mandates for truck drivers on January 22nd. In Winnipeg, Alex Karpa, City News.